Yo, what up, brothers? What's up? It's the director. Now, I haven't done one of these this year so far, and I figure you guys probably want to see what I have to say as far as mock draft goes. Let's do a mock draft. Let's have some fun and do a mock draft. Again, I've not really done one of these. I know a lot of these players. I'm not like a super expert on all the college players and prospects, but I do know the needs of the Chargers, so I think it might be a fun thing to kind of do together. So let's go ahead and go here to mock drafts. Start a mock draft representing the LA Chargers and get going here. Let's do a 7-round mock draft. Let's make this a fun, good, complete little video here. Select speed. Let's do fast. Make sure that this thing goes as fast as possible. And here we go. Chargers mock draft. Now, before we select our first pick, go over all the other picks and stuff ahead of us. You guys like these videos? We just hit 11,000 subs last night. It'd be awesome if you guys could take the small amount of time to hit that like, sub, and bell notification to get us even further. Really aiming for that 20,000 as possible. All right, let's take a look at this mock draft here. As a matter of fact, let's actually make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see everything going on here. That makes a problem though, because then I can't see the picks and the that we need to pick. So let's go as far as we can right there. All right, so in this mock draft, in this first mock draft, looks like first off the board was Joe Burrow, followed by Tristan Wirfs. That doesn't seem very realistic to me, but right afterwards is Chase Young, Devon Chason, and Mekhi Becton. That doesn't seem very likely, does it? I don't think this is the kind of mock draft we want to represent. Okay, so let's go ahead and restart. Hopefully this next one has more realistic picks. It's that one was a little bit off. Let's try one more time. Go fast. Start the mock draft right here. See, this seems more likely, except for Chason. I mean, it is the Giants. Anything could happen. The Giants, like we saw with the Raiders last year, we had Clelin Ferrell, or whatever his name is, get picked in, the top 5. So why not? Why not? Let's just roll with this. Tristan Wirfs, offensive tackle. Tua Tagovailoa still on the board. Interesting. Tua on the board. Isaiah Simmons also on the board. Now, it does bother me that this site doesn't seem as accurate, but at the same time, you'd never know. You really never know what could happen. And you guys know me. You guys know where I stand as far as the Chargers. Getting Cam Newton would be great. But my first priority this season is to pick up Tua Tagovailoa. So that's going to be our first pick in round 1. Welcome to the Bolts. Underneath Tyrod Taylor for a full season, maybe a half to a, 3/4 of a season before he gets his first start. But I would absolutely be okay with him taking the entire year to sit, heal, and learn under Tyrod Taylor. So interesting that Tua Tagovailoa falls to us at that pick. And we'll take kind of a look at what's going on, after we get to our pick here in just a second of where everybody else is going. But I'll be honest, last time I used this website, it felt a little more accurate, and now it just seems a little bit more random. Let's take a look at who just got picked before us. Kenneth Murray at linebacker, Trevon Diggs. Okay, Jordan Love to the Indianapolis Colts. Got Laviska Shenault over at with the Cincinnati Bengals. Jonathan Taylor, running back. Okay, Jalen Reagor, which was also kind of a target for me in the second round. Ezra Cleveland going in the first round. That is a shocker. Honestly, a lot of these going in the first round is they're gonna see, and Isaiah Simmons falling all the way down to pick number 21. There's just no way. So what do we call this video? Like the most unlikely fantasy draft of all time for the 2020 rookie class. Okay, and then Jeff Okudah. All right, so some of it still feels okay, but we'll just wait and see. I mean, Patrick Queen, linebacker, second round. I know a lot of people still want an offensive tackle in the second round, which is kind of where I'll just kind of give you guys my realistic take of what I think happens, and then what we have here on the board, I suppose. So let's say that we somehow acquire Tua Tagovailoa, and which I'm going to believe is going to cost our 6th pick, our second round pick, and our second round maybe next year as well. So it would be a bit of a stretch to get him, but if that's the case that we do get him, we wouldn't have a second round pick. But let's say we go with like Justin Herbert in the first pick. That's great. We should be able to get ourselves still a pretty nice offensive tackle, maybe even a linebacker like Kenneth Murray in the second round. I think that's a bit of a stretch too, but again, you never really know. Guys like AJ Epinesa are still here, Patrick Queen, T. Higgins, which he could be second round guy. Austin Jackson, which is definitely, you know, on my radar for this pick. It's really hard to pass Patrick Queen, dudes. It really is hard. But I also feel like Austin Jackson's way more of a realistic chance, although I do think Austin Jackson should have been picked before Ezra Cleveland, who was also very good, but in my mind, a solid second round, maybe third round pick for Ezra Cleveland, and Austin Jackson's definitely a first or, you know, early second. Who do we go with here? I mean, to be crazy, we would be too crazy not to take Patrick Queen. We do need linebacker. We're going to take him. Again, I don't love it, but, you know, whatever with this mock draft. So let's say, realistically, in the second round, if we have a second round pick, let's say the first one we go with Herbert, and the second one we go with, you know, Austin Jackson or Ezra Cleveland, either one. In the third round, I personally would be targeting a wide receiver. I think that we can get ourselves a pretty nasty, fast wide receiver in the third round. So who would we go with wide receiver wise? Let's take a look at just the receivers. We got Chase Claypool, still looks pretty good, projected at 94, so it'd be a bit of a reach. A lot of these guys would actually be considered a bit of a reach at this point too. So just seeing as how the chips fall, Michael Pittman is actually the guy who I would target in the third round. I don't see any other wide receivers taken to, okay, Brandon right there. I don't know, man. This one's kind of tough. Let's take a look at everybody available here. We got that tight end, Cole, pick number 66. Okay, Dantzler, cornerback. We could definitely go cornerback. Isaiah Wilson at this point would be pretty nice too. Wilson was projected to go a lot higher. I think he had some kind of injury concern that pushed him down a little bit further. But I mean, when you're looking at value like that in the third round, I wouldn't mind taking it. Bryce Hall, cornerback. Jacob Eason, which we wouldn't need. Matthew Pert, who's also pretty nice at 78. Then there's Jalen Hurts at projected at 79 in the third round. So again, if we decide to go, let's say Isaiah Simmons in the first, in the second we decide to go offensive tackle like Austin Jackson, we could definitely end up with the Jalen Hurts round 3. Some people say it's too far of a stretch, that he's more of a second round guy. I could totally see that, but at the same time, I think Jalen Hurts in the third round, kind of where he fits and where he belongs. That's something to kind of keep an eye out for. In here, I'm going to take Isaiah Wilson, actually. Isaiah Wilson's going to be the pick for me here. We got our offensive tackle. We got our quarterback. We got our linebacker, which is kind of surprising to see as well. I would say more realistically, we get a wide receiver or maybe even cornerback in the second or third round. So that's something to take a look at there. Jake Fromm goes off the board to the Broncos. Van Jefferson over to the Seattle Seahawks. Interesting. Hunter Bryant to the Washington Redskins, also interesting. Now, this one kind of fell in my lap. We got Zach Moss sitting there at pick 109. I don't think he's going to be. He might be there. I mean, it's running back. Those positions tend to fall a little bit. And we're sitting here in the fourth round. And you know what? Fourth round is where I do feel pretty comfortable taking a running back if we want to. I don't know if it's super necessary. I think, you know, we're looking at guys like Justin Jackson on our team right now, who we got very late, who is produced very, very well. I think our team has a good eye, you know, value picks in the late rounds, especially for positions like running backs. So, I don't know, man. Moody, we got an interior offensive lineman we definitely need, just in case Pouncey suffers another injury or he's not back at full health. Thaddeus Moss at tight end. We could definitely use another tight end too. That's something definitely on my radar as well. Interior defensive line's already taken care of. Nick Harris I have my eye on as well as interior offensive lineman. Quantry Davis. We do need another wide receiver. It is something I think we can still address, you know, maybe in free agency if we have to. There's a couple of guys like Gabriel I think would be nice, you know, in that wide receiver 3 spot. Maybe put him outside and move Keenan Allen into the slot a little bit more. We saw that really nice transition for Larry Fitzgerald when he decided to move to the slot. They just fit that area a little bit more. But yeah, kind of Tyler Biak. I can't say his name. This one is surprising that he's still there. I know that he's a really good interior offensive lineman. Maybe I'm thinking of a different guy, but he's pretty nice too. For the sake of this mock draft, though, I am in this area here. Zach Moss, I've seen him play. Great player. It would be a really, really good compliment. Let's take a really quick look at his size here. 5'10", 222 pounds. Very similar to our Austin Jackson already there, but he's definitely got, you know, some talent at running back. And I think some people would like to see an answer, you know, just for the Melvin Gordon absence this season. So let's go ahead and take Zach Moss in the 4th and just feel good about that. I think my other pick would definitely have been the interior offensive lineman at round number 4. But that feels pretty good as far as what we've got so far. Now, I'm going to be honest, these last, what we got, like 2 or 3 picks, I'm gonna kind of just go by position of need, just because I kind of know what the Chargers need. I'm not as familiar with picks this late. AJ Dillon. I mean, now I'm sort of regretting it. You know, Zach Moss is like really good player, but we could have gotten, you know, somebody else. But Devin Duvernay has been on my radar quite a bit as well. Wide receiver out of Texas. I think that would be a great pick right here. Isaiah Hodgins. Hodgins, wide receiver out of Oregon State. He would be pretty nasty too. So some good, you know, skill positions left on the board here at pick number, or round number 5. So I'm going to say Devin Duvernay. I've seen his name floating around quite a bit out of Texas. I like the guy. I think he's, you know, at a position of need for the Chargers. So far, the offense is getting a lot of love here. We have to address, you know, defense a little bit. We did get that linebacker in the first round, or in the second round, you know, Patrick Queen, which is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But we'll see what falls to us in round number 6. There's still some pretty good talent out there. I'm not going to lie. Some, you know, projected guys a little. So Patrick Taylor, Tyree Cleveland, another wide receiver. So again, I feel like we, you know, bit the bullet just a little bit too soon right there. Jacob Phillips. Let's see, another linebacker, interfered defensive line, wide receiver, running back, cornerback. Oh, here we go. I see this guy a lot, and I've been looking at his tape. Looks good. At least for a 6th round pick. I'm definitely going to go with Lamar Jackson here. It's so tough not to like look his way automatically, because there is an existing Lamar Jackson in the league right now who's amazing, but this is a cornerback. You know, he's definitely a 6th rounder, 5th rounder, maybe even 7th rounder kind of cornerback. That's kind of what we need right now, just a little bit of depth at that position. So let's go ahead and take Lamar Jackson, you know, in the 6th round. That's pretty cool. Again, this has been fun, but at the same time, like this whole system right now, I don't know what's up with it. I've used it before. It seems pretty accurate in the past, but right now it seems a little bit wonky. You know, we shouldn't have gotten Patrick Queen. You know, it's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. So let's wrap this thing up. Round number 7. You know, Mr. Irrelevant for the Chargers. Got some wide receivers on the board. We got tight ends on the board. AJ Green, another cornerback that's been, I think, scouted by the Chargers at this point too. Jared Pickney, tight end. We could definitely use another one. Interior offensive line, Darryl Williams. I mean, at this point, what do we need? We need interior offensive lineman. Darryl Williams seems to be the highest one on the board, so let's take a interior offensive lineman. A bit of a reach, just a little bit by 7. Let's go ahead and take him. I feel that's pretty important to have that addressed. But this has definitely been more of an offensive mock draft for the Chargers. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we do need to fix on offense. Our defense is looking fantastic. I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out something like this, but this is definitely not. Maybe we'll do a different video in the future of just kind of like my projections of what the Chargers get, instead of doing like a Draft Network live draft. As fun as this is, it doesn't seem as accurate to what I'd like to see. Let's take a look at our picks here real quick just to wrap this thing up, if the site will allow us to. If not, you guys definitely already saw what we got. Oh no, it seems like the website's not letting us do it. Are they not finished drafting? Is there something? No, okay, just 1 second. Well, it seems the website's having a little bit of issue, but you guys know who we drafted. You guys saw who we drafted. You know, we got ourselves the Tua Tagovailoa in the 2nd round. We're probably not going to have a 2nd round pick if we do get Tua, so I'm just going to say maybe Queen doesn't exist in this draft. And then the 3rd round, I don't remember everybody we got, guys, but you can check it out in the video. And guys, thank you so much for joining. I know this one was a little bit wonky, didn't really go out as planned, but kind of have some of my thoughts, you know, spat down on paper now, and maybe we'll do a more, you know, realistic take on what Chargers could get through rounds 1 and through 7, and then maybe some trade scenarios and stuff like that too. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been the Director on a Draft Network's live mock draft. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys like this, hit us up with a like and sub. Much love to everybody out there. Stay safe. This has been the Director, and as always, stay frosty.